Hey dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just want to say a big shout out to everyone. Thank you so much for your well wishes for my problematic body. And of course I really hope that everything will be well, and same for you guys. Just take note that don't game too long and neglect your body. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about HANDSFREE T15 dungeon in this video. The first dungeon of course we'll be checking out is the gold dungeon. I'll be showing you guys the setups, the teams, and what heroes you can use alternative to mine. I'm using Yuri here because I want to build up her proficiency. You can use any AoE dealer like Velda, like who else? Fodina, Eileen, like Rin. Okay, all these AoE dealers can be used instead of Yuan-He or even Yuri. Okay, but I think Lina and Shay are the more important two. Okay, Lina is on skill cooldown. Shay is on attack speed so that you can quickly channel her ultimates to allow your entire team to get their ultimates as well. And then Yuri is on attack set. Yuan-He is on crit set. As you can see for the accessories, I also use full moon accessories so that they hit AoE. Okay, Yuan-He already hits AoE on her basic attack, so she's actually a very good candidate for this dungeon in particular. For the formation, I'm using Bombardment 2, and for the masteries, try to set it to all offensive masteries with priority and with damage increase for AoE skills. For the pet, I'm using a Yuan-He pet, which increases my damage dealt and also increases ignore defense efficiency. You can use any offensive pet here because I don't think you will be dying too easily. Okay, so with this setup, you can go in. Of course, make sure that this guide is meant for you if you have already finished a dungeon and just want to farm the dungeon. Okay, if you are doing the dungeon for the first time, please go check out the actual dungeon guide. I think that will be better for you. Okay, so as you can see, I placed my mouse right in the middle of the screen. You can see the mouse very clearly there. I'm not going to touch the screen at all and basically just let the AI do its magic. The whole idea of the team is really to allow Shay to cast all the ults that you need. Okay, and then let Lina link everyone so that you are able to not receive too much damage, and then let Yuan-He and Yuri or whatever AoE damage dealer you are using do their stuff. If you're using Velda, even better because he pulls all the piranhas together and kills them much more easily. Yuri does have a single target attack here, so I don't really prefer using her over someone else like Fodina, who has all AoE skills. I think that's so much better. And Fodina itself as well, she increases the attack of your team, so you are able to do more damage. If you have Rin here, even better because Rin has guaranteed crit on all her attacks. She will finish the dungeon very quickly for you, so definitely a much better farmer. Okay, Yuan-He, as I mentioned, is just great all round for this dungeon because of her AoEs, and even her basic attack is doing AoE. If you're a newer player, you want to try someone less legendary, you can actually try Neo. Okay, but make sure your Neo is really well geared, otherwise you may be taking a bit too much damage towards the later part of the dungeon. So it's not a very long battle. Okay, it's quite long because Yuri is used, but if you're using someone like Rin, I believe it can be done in a much faster way. So depends on what you are prioritizing, because in this case I want to build proficiency, so you can actually build proficiency using the save team as well. Make sure the right heroes are used, that's all.
Restore the balance. Sing you a lullaby.
Also, one thing to mention would be that Shay should be having a lot of transcendence accessories. Okay, transcending I mean, so that she's able to charge her ultimate gauge very quickly on top of the attack speed that you have already given her. So with that, we are moving to the next dungeon. The next dungeon is the Soulstone Quarry. For the Soulstone Quarry, I'll be using this particular team. Okay, in the initial guide, I was using Noho with Lina, and then you'll just go all out offensive on this boss. But over here, we are using the same idea with Shay and Lina to quickly cast Lina's ultimates and link your heroes so that you will not receive too much damage from the boss, especially from his magma lava attacks. Okay, the idea of the team here, Lina is on skill cooldown and defense. I think you can actually give her full skill cooldown. I'm not sure why she has defense. And then Shay has attack speed. For my Chris, he has attack, and for my Cosette, she is on crit. Okay. For the accessories, as I mentioned, I think something is a little wrong with the accessories. Okay, for Shay, you should be giving her transcending accessories, okay, to allow her to get her ultimate gauge much faster with every basic attack. For Lina, skill cooldown, what's that? Time acceleration. Time acceleration is good here. For Cosette, full offensive accessories, you won't die, okay? And then for Chris, full offensive accessories as well. You may want to give something like time reversal as well to reduce defense and attack of the boss, that's also fine. Against a full hands-free guide, so you will see that all my heroes are clumped together, which is definitely not the most ideal for this particular boss because you want to be directing his attention to just one hero. But in this case, as you can see, once you have casted Lina's Link, you're not going to receive any damage from the straight line attack that he does. The only issue here, okay, is that yeah, the timing is a problem because sometimes if you're unlucky and then your timing is a little off, okay, based on the AI, and you may receive damage. Okay, but in general, your healing should be very high, very frequent, and the links will be casted quite frequently as well. The thing about the initial part is that Cosette is actually very far off. So she may be hit and stunned by the initial, what's that? The attack that he does that only hits the back. Yeah, that's the only thing that in this case is. She will only be affected by that, but in general, nothing is going to die too badly. Okay, thanks to my friend Yaming for this particular strategy, because I was actually still using the no-hold strategy and it was quite tough to auto. It just didn't occur to me that I had to use Shay again, because the strategy for this particular dungeon was to actually use all out offensive heroes, right? But in this case, with Shay and Lina, as I said long ago, they are best friends and they will really help you in any PvE content moving forward. The next dungeon will be the Elixir Refinery. For the Elixir Refinery, I'm actually using a more melee-oriented team with Lina. Lina is on skill cooldown, Rachel is on attack, Adele is on crit, and Evan is on attack speed. Okay, so the idea behind this team is for your heroes to go very near him and deal damage close to him, which is quite the opposite of what I talked about in the actual guide itself, where it's better for you to use ranged heroes and then lure the boss with one hero. But since this is an AFK hands-free guide, a melee team is better because they will likely clump near him, okay, so that when he does a unidirection skill on Lina, your other heroes will not be affected because they will tend to be behind him, because the boss will move forward such that he will move forward nearer to Lina, who is a distance away. So your melee heroes will tend to be behind the boss and will be protected from all these unidirectional skills. Later we will talk about that and you'll see how it works, okay? Okay, so as you enter the battle, as you can see here, Lina is kind of distance away. The boss will kind of move forward slightly and all your other 3 melee heroes will be at the back of the boss. I think someone is not at the back of the boss right now, but they usually are at the back of the boss, okay? Now, like in this case, the boss will move forward a bit more. Maybe not. Okay, I killed him too fast. But if you don't kill him fast enough, he will kind of move forward. So you may be thinking, then won't Lina die because she's taking a lot of damage and she's not charging her ultimate fast enough? She will definitely die, especially to such a skill. Okay, all the across the field skills. She will take massive damage, and that's something that you can't avoid. I mean, it is a hands-free guide after all, but you can only trust that your other heroes will be able to kill the boss in time so that you will be able to clear this dungeon with S tier.
Restore the balance.
As you can see here, it is an X-shaped attack. There are some cases where they do it as a plus sign, and that is not going to be great for your melee heroes because your melee heroes will definitely take the full effect of the cross sign attack. If it's the X, it's still fine because I think only Lina will get hit. And then for this 4 directional attack, okay, definitely you will receive huge damage, but if your Lina revives, she will heal the team, and your other heroes definitely need to be on the immortal set, okay, rage set I mean, so that they will survive on 1 HP and continue to attack the boss, okay, until Lina revives to heal them. Okay, so it's a very doable stage, even though this was one of the toughest dungeons when you first attempt it. The next one is the Rune dungeon, which is definitely the simplest and fastest dungeon that you can hands-free. I'm using a full-out offense team with Rachel as a debuffer and Chris as well. For my Rachel, she's on skill up. For my Noho, she's on attack speed. For my Chris, she's on attack. And for my co-set, she's on crit. Okay, and for the accessories wise, I am using some full moon accessories, time reversal to reduce the defense of the boss, time acceleration so that Noho is able to get her skills done used much faster. And then if you really want to play safe, all my heroes have rage accessories so that they won't die immediately to hits, okay, if they take too much damage. But I don't think you need a revive because all these heroes are pretty strong, and it really depends on your heroes as well. If your heroes will die somewhere in the middle of the battle, then you probably will want some to have revive accessories as well. So the good thing about using ranged heroes here is that they will be at a distance from Kiergo, I think that's his name, right? And then Rachel will be there tanking all the initial damage. I think only Noho is likely to get touched because she's kind of the nearest one. But the other two, Chris and Cosette, definitely, I haven't even finished explaining and it's done. Yeah, but basically, this is how fast it can be, okay, with all your full firepower team. And you can definitely use a melee team as well, okay, but I just prefer range because they kind of won't be damaged and won't be, you know, susceptible to all his, I think he does knockbacks or knockdowns, right? So melee team, so range heroes will not be affected and they will continuously do damage and clear the dungeon very quickly for you. So the last dungeon we'll be doing is the experience run dungeon, and to be honest, I'm not confident at all when I was trying to record this, because I have never had a full success clear, so it was, you know, kind of iffy. And this was the team I was running: Evan, Lina, Shay and Rachel, going with the same idea of what we've talked about before, right? Using Lina and Shay to quickly get your links, quickly do your heals, to maintain the health of your team. Okay, I'm using the basic formation in this case because of the attack speed increase in the middle, and then with Rachel as the main debuffer because you shouldn't be using ranged heroes, and then with Evan as my strongest melee damager, okay, because he has immunity and he heals himself as well. Of course you can try with Adele. I didn't try with Adele for some reason but maybe Adele could work as well because Adele does have immunity, so Adele could be a great fit here as well. But I'm using Evan, so maybe in terms of masteries wise it kind of takes a little damage off because my masteries is kind of a mixed set. It's not meant for Rachel to do more damage. Yeah. But anyway, this is the longest dungeon to auto, to hands-free. Okay, I really wasn't confident at all. I was just expecting myself to get an A and to just tell you that, okay, this is not gonna be very stable. Honestly, it is still not very stable because the chance of you dying here is very high, and it really depends on where he flings your heroes to. If your heroes just somehow all land in the tornadoes all the time and you don't get your outs in fast enough, you don't get your links fast enough, you don't heal fast enough, you are just going to be dead, you know, very quickly. Like in this case, my Lina and Shay are dead, but they do revive, so thank goodness. Rachel died as well. So here it's really all down to RNG, where your heroes go, whether they end up or stay in the tornado. That's all completely random and up to luck. Okay, but I'm very thankful that this run was the most successful and the only successful one that made it into the video. Okay, so just have a look at how this plays out. I really didn't touch it at all. I didn't even use my Rudy shield. There are some times when I did this before recording and I had to use Rudy shield just to, you know, just to prolong my team. But it really comes down to your Shay. Your Shay is the most important hero here. If your Shay doesn't make it fast enough, you are not going to be able to tank all the damage. And as you can see, my heroes are very luckily not in the tornadoes as well. They are just somehow, not in range. My Lina is in a tornado right now, but she's going to link up very fast because of Shay. So thank goodness. And I don't know where she is now. Yeah, so my Rachel, I think, I can't really see what's happening. I'm just assuming that they are not in the tornado because the Harpy, what's this? I can't remember the name. It is just, going in between two areas that are not affected by tornadoes because itself doesn't really run into the tornado as well. Right, so you can be sure that if you're using melee heroes, they'll be very close to her and they won't be affected by the tornadoes until you get flung back. So thankfully, I also got a Legend Stone. So again, it's not the most stable strategy or team. Let me know if you have better teams for this particular dungeon, or is it just really subjected to gear and hero level, because that is a big factor, I know. So yeah, leave in the comments what teams you guys use for the dungeons, hands-free. And for my hero potentials here, Kosa is on 20-15-15, Evan is on 20-15-15 as well, all to maximize potential damage. Lina is on 15-10-10, Chris is on 20-12-12, Noho is on 20-12-12 as well, Adele is on 20-12-12, Rachel is on 20-12-12, Shay is on 9-9-10, and I think that's about it. Yeah, for dungeons, your hero pool is pretty limited, okay? So for divinity, these are my divinities at the current point upon recording this video. I only have 4 level 15 divinities on page 1, which is quite sad. I'm trying to still build them up, especially skill cooldown. Okay, so let me know what you guys use in the dungeons for hands-free farming. Especially now that we have the event going on, it's even more important and for you to do the dungeons. Okay, big shout out to my channel members Tom, Gonzalo, Jeremy, Chilling, Fahas, Nick, Yamaki, Kevin, and Harlan for their support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much and see you!